Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. Here, I share stories that don't just scare, they linger. The kind that twist under your skin. The kind you think about at 3 a.m. If that sounds like something you're into, go ahead and like the video. Leave a comment to let me know what stayed with you, and share it with someone else who listens in the dark. Subscribe for more stories like this. Now, let's begin.
The rain wasn't falling, it was attacking. A relentless assault that hammered my windshield like 1,000 tiny fists. Wipers screamed back and forth, struggling to keep the world from disappearing into the downpour. I gripped the steering wheel tighter, my knuckles pale against the dark vinyl. I'd been driving since before dawn, Oklahoma on the horizon, exhaustion gnawing at every joint, every thought. The car radio crackled under the static, a calm voice pushing through the interference.
Still no official suspects in the Butcher case, now linked to at least 5 victims across 3 states. All were found dismembered, with signs suggesting deliberate, almost surgical precision. Authorities are urging anyone traveling long distances to remain alert and report any suspicious behavior.
I turned the volume down, but not off. The voice lingered in the background like a bad thought, too smooth for the details it delivered. Dismembered, surgical, the kind of story meant to keep you awake at night, though I was already doing a fine job of that on my own. The road ahead was a blurred tunnel of smeared taillights and ghostly white headlights, the horizon swallowed by water and black sky. My eyelids burned. My head buzzed. I was running on lukewarm gas station coffee, adrenaline, and a gnawing anxiety I couldn't quite place. One more mile felt like a dare I didn't want to take. Then, through the rippling sheet of rain, a sign materialized. A flickering neon buzzed into view. Road to Nowhere Inn. Vacancy. Half the letters were dead. The rest sputtered like they might blink out at any second. The whole sign winked at me like a warning dressed as an invitation. I didn't care. I needed a bed. I needed to not be in this car. I turned sharply off the highway. The tires cut through standing water with a hiss, pulling me into a near-empty lot. The inn looked like it had once been something grand, a long time ago. Now it slouched under the weight of age and rot, paint peeling like dead skin, the windows staring out like tired eyes. I stepped into the lobby and was immediately hit by the smell. Old carpet, dust, and something metallic underneath it all, coppery, wet. The air was thick, and it clung to me. The only light came from a single bulb swaying slightly from the ceiling, casting shadows that moved just enough to make me question them. A brass bell sat on the front counter. I rang it. The sound was too sharp, too loud. It echoed like it didn't belong here, or like it had woken something up. She appeared from the back after a few seconds, slow, graceful in a way that didn't seem natural. Her face was ancient, carved with deep lines, but her eyes, dark, unblinking, had a kind of alertness that felt out of place, too sharp in that soft, vacant expression. "Just one night," I rasped. "Room for one? Any room?" She slid a thick ledger toward me. The leather cracked and the pages yellowed.
"Sign here, please. Room 217.
Her voice was like gravel soaked in cold water, soft but heavy. I scrawled my name. The scratch of the pen was the only sound in the world for a second. She moved quickly, too quickly, and handed me a heavy brass key with an ornate fob, cold in my hand, heavier than I expected.
"Second floor. Down the hall on your right. The elevator is not currently operational."
I didn't ask. I was too tired to think. Just nodded and moved on. The elevator was a cage behind a rusted gate, chained off like something dangerous lived inside. The cables hung limp, frayed like dead vines. I took the stairs. Every step creaked under my boots. My suitcase thudded dully behind me. The second-floor hallway was worse than the lobby. Long, too long, lit by flickering sconces that painted everything in sickly yellow light. The wallpaper had once been floral, now it was twisted. The patterns writhed when I wasn't looking directly at them, faces forming in the corners of my vision and vanishing when I blinked. The carpet was thick and red, muffling my steps, swallowing sound. At the far end of the hall, an exit sign glowed blood red, not a promise, but a warning. Room 217. The number on the door shimmered faintly in the dim light, like it was breathing. I turned the key. The lock groaned like it hadn't been used in years. The door creaked open. The room was quiet. It was large, surprisingly, with a queen bed, a heavy wooden dresser, and one tall window. The rain kept falling beyond the glass. The thermostat was cranked to max, but the air was cold, and that same metallic tang from the lobby was stronger here, soaked into the walls. I dropped my suitcase with a thump, peeled off my damp jacket, and tossed it over the armchair. The upholstery was dark, too dark, like it could drink in color. The TV was ancient, no remote, no channels, just a black square that watched me. I didn't care. The shower was hot, a small mercy. Steam clouded the mirror, but the cold air outside the curtain never faded. I dried off and stepped out onto a bath mat that had long since given up trying to be soft. That's when it happened. The wall next to me, the one between my room and the next, shook. Something had slammed into it, something big, a body? A dresser? I don't know. The sound vibrated through my bones. The shower curtain rippled from the force of the air. My heart stuttered. "Hello?" I called, louder than I meant to. "Everything all right over there?" Silence. No reply. Not a breath, not a shuffle. Just the rain and the eerie stillness. I dressed quickly, every muscle tense. Then, against better judgment, I pressed my ear to the wall. It was cold, vibrating slightly. Still no sound. Nothing. I backed away, climbed into bed. The mattress was firm, the pillows were flat. But exhaustion won. Despite everything, the rain, the bang, the silence, my body sank and the bed swallowed me. The storm became distant, distorted, like it was moving away even though I knew it wasn't. Then something changed. Warmth seeped into me, not the comforting kind, the numbing kind, like anesthesia. My limbs felt heavy, my breath slowed. There was a faint, sharp prick on my arm, cold, quick. Maybe a bug. I was too tired to care. That's when I heard it. Not from the room next door, from inside mine. A high-pitched scraping like metal on bone, precise, slow. It burrowed into my teeth, then something wet, heavy, dropped onto a hard surface. Again and again. My eyes wouldn't open. My limbs wouldn't move. I was awake but drowning in stillness. My mind floated in thick fog, drugged and sinking. The metallic scent flooded my nose, thick, coppery, too much. Drip, drip, drip. Somewhere nearby. Not water. I knew it wasn't water. The saw, the thuds, the drip. I couldn't scream, couldn't twitch, couldn't run. Something was happening to me, inside me. But it was too late. And somehow, I didn't care. The last thing I felt was my weight shifting. No, being shifted. A sensation of being separated, broken into parts. But it didn't hurt. It didn't scare me. Not anymore. I sank. Gone.
If you made it this far, thank you for listening. If it left something echoing in your mind, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what stayed with you. Like the video if it pulled you in, and share it with someone who doesn't flinch at the quiet kind of horror. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Thanks for watching.